What's going on, world? Coach Ford here with my Real Talk daily vlog show. I did a podcast recording last night. Just getting back from basketball tournament we had today, and so I like jumping on here with different topics. And the thing that really sticks out to me in my coaching world and things that I do in coaching and from sports and business, they're exactly the same thing. There's not a lot of differences between basketball and sports and business. They're the same things, just the sports side of it is just like the end process. But for me as a coach, there's a lot of things I have to do. I got to order from vendors. I got to make sure the brand is right, so I'm building up the brand. It's a little easier to do in basketball because when you offer services and products to people, is just kind of one of those things. The thing you compete with in basketball and business is like local programs or youth programs that don't cost anything. So when you have to deal with programs that do cost, people believe that it should be at a low cost instead of they view it as a premium, and it's really not when you factor into it's really a job, right? And so getting people to understand the difference of my role as coach and director and being the owner of an academy, and I try not using that as my focus because it's so easy, right? And I say it's easy because that's what I've been doing. That's my niche market. So I got to do a better job of servicing the basketball community and giving those kids options. So I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to lean into it. I've always been the kind to do the hardest thing first. Sport is a business. Sports is a business. That's why I'm getting my doctorate degree in sports leadership. I mean, I don't have to get it at this point because I'm building a business, but it's something that I want to do, and we'll have to see. Oh boy. 5 a.m. comes early. I am so sorry. I've been yawning so much in these videos. I've got to stop, right? Like, it is just getting out of hand. It's out of control. But, the thing is that I'm starting to learn in my journey of entrepreneurship, and I'm talking to guys who I'm walking this journey with. So I've actually been in business since 2016, when I first started my delivery service. The things that I didn't know at 23 that I know at 32 is drastic in those 9 years, actually 10 years. That'll be 10 years in May from the time I first started being in business. In terms of what I did and didn't know, maybe not. I think maybe I was 24. I'll have to go back and look at some of my records and stuff. So I think the biggest thing that I have to keep telling myself is to be ultra patient. So how to be patient. So if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, if you're a basketball player, you're walking the same journey. And for me, being in the game, well, okay, not cool. Being in the game of entrepreneurship, I'm the player now, so I have to get to trainers and coaches. And I say everybody needs 4 things. You need a trainer, you need a coach, you need people that are going to challenge you and push you. You need a team. So I'm building my team. I'm building the infrastructure. I have the playbook. I just have to refine the playbook. And my thing is, it's so easy to be patient with sports and being a basketball player and being a coach than it is being patient with entrepreneurship, because you look at that scoreboard, which is your bank account, and say, oh my gosh, I need to be making X amount of money as soon as possible, instead of just having faith of building the brand and building the business. And so that's where I'm at right now. I got to figure out, okay, who am I? I know who I'm serving, but providing them with a product and service that doesn't require me to be there all the time. And so it's a process. It's one of those things where I'm not at the Gary Vaynerchuk's and the Myron Goldens and the Russell Brunson level. I would love to be there in my mind. I would love to be there, but I understand it's a process, right? And helping people through their journey and through their struggle and trying to figure it out is most important right now. And helping other people and doing my best to figure it out. I don't have it figured out. I'm not very good at it right now at all. And, I'm not going to sit up here and make it seem like, oh, I got it all figured out. I'm doing my best to learn as quickly as possible. And some of the things that I have to refine and get better at is my offer, right? Like, what am I offering? So I have to take a real good look at my website. My book launch comes out in 5/5/24, so I'm being ultra patient with that. I'm totally discomfortable. I'll be honest with you, I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm discomforted. And it's not right. Like, people think, oh, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, life's good and life's great. That's not how it works. Like, it's hard, right? And when they say it's hard mentally. Because there's a lot of pressure you put on yourself, and you have to perform and you have to get better. And it's the same with being a basketball coach, right? Like, figured out, and it's taken me a long time to figure out how to be a good basketball coach, and I'm still not good, right? There's tons of things that I've learned, and I have to look at that and be patient too. Be like, okay, look how far the basketball brand has come. I've 10x'd that. I got to 10x that even more by getting some delegation and some automation and some things. But it's gotten better. It's getting better. It just takes so much time. And I think people get impatient in that because you go to a job and in 2 weeks you start getting a check so you can breathe a sigh of relief. Being a business person, being an entrepreneur, you don't get that sigh of relief, right? Like, your first sale has to go right into investing in the business. And so I've been investing in the infrastructure of my business now, and it's like I'm in it now, and there's no turning back. And I don't plan on turning back. I'm just speaking to the person that's like, I don't know what to do. I feel stuck. I see all these videos, and I listen to all these videos, and I think some of these people who are high up that I've mentioned are so far removed from what it's like to be on the ground floor that, and I'm not saying they still don't remember it, but it's hard for them to know what it feels like, right? So being an entrepreneur, it's like, dude, I get you. I feel it, right? Like, I get it. I'm not trying to baby you. I'm not trying to absolve you from accountability. I'm not trying to absolve you from doing the things. Like, you got to make sure you're doing the right stuff. Same with basketball players. Like, your shot's not good, but you haven't done anything to improve it. Your shot's not better, but you haven't done anything to get better at it. And so, for me, it's interesting because it's like, I'm like that in entrepreneurship, so I have to get better at my mindset, and I'm actually writing a book about it, not necessarily for me. And I'll be honest with everybody at home, I don't want to do any of this. I would prefer to sit at home and play Call of Duty all the time and not be bothered. But that's what I want to do, right? That's not what the world requires of me, to come out and give my greatness and become the best version of myself possible. So I wrote a book about that, and I saw all these resources, but the one thing that I noticed in all of the books that I read, all of the self-help, all of the motivation books, none of them really addressed the one thing, the big elephant in the room. Like, you have to take responsibility of the fact that it's your job to become the best version of yourself, right? And that was the epiphany that I had. I have some things going on in my life that I'm not going to publicly put out here because it's none of their business, people's business, but there were some motivating factors. I got sick. God was giving me the word and giving me a message about me not living in my greatness and my great potential. And I am an entrepreneur. I am a multimillionaire. I am, if I'm lucky enough, become a billionaire, as Mark Cuban says. You got to have some luck in order to become a billionaire. And so I think timing and where you're at in life makes a big difference. I am excited in terms of where I can go as an individual. I'm excited in terms of what I can do to improve myself as a person. And so if you got it figured out, great. This isn't for you. If you think I'm just rambling on, then I'm not. I'm really trying to help somebody. I'm driving in my car. We had a long week, or a long Saturday. I was there. I get up at 5 a.m. Well, this morning I got up at 6 a.m. So I can do my stuff. I got to do schoolwork. I got to do some responses. I got a paper to write. So there's some time in there. There's some breathing room. There's not. I'll have to take my computer up here and go to Starbucks and do some work, which I'm excited about. But it's hard, man. I don't want anybody thinking that it's easy. It's tough. Like, you're going outside of a uncharted territories that most people are not accustomed to, and most people are comfortable being in. And if I'm being honest, like, it's tough, man. It's tough. So how do you deal with that? That's a great question. Get around other people. Find a mentor. I say this all the time. Find a mentor. Find a coach. Get a team. You got to have a team. Who's on your team? You got to have a trainer, right? And the reason why you got to have a trainer, because the trainer is going to teach you the skills that the coach and mentor is not necessarily looking at. And I know there's consulting, but really, I think I'm going to change mine to business skills trainer, because there's some things fundamentally that, yes, coaching is the buzzword, but really it needs to be business skills trainer. Like, how many times do you post content a week? How many times do you respond to emails? How many times do you reach out to your customers on Facebook? How many times do you tell them thank you? How many times do you say, hey, I need a practice in my car, driving somewhere? You're already driving anywhere, but you're too selfish, right? And I've been there, just not turning the camera on. And I think about all the time that I could have been improving this craft, but you can't think about that. You only can think about this moment and moving forward, this moment and moving forward. And then when you get that next moment, really owning that moment. So I was like, man, I need to take advantage of my time. Like, I just got on coaching 4 basketball games. I don't know if you never coached 4 basketball games and then try getting online, and you see it when those guys get done coaching basketball, they're mentally exhausted. Like, man, I'm mentally exhausted, but I have to push through. I need to record content. I need to be consistent. Like, my goal is to put out a daily vlog for the next 5 to 10 years. And I think that's important. I think it's important for people to see the journey. I think it's important that people get real life conversations, because there's enough fake going on in the world. There's enough AI nonsense and Hollywood green screen and all that those people aren't, those people are doing great jobs. They're A-listers for a reason. They get people sold in on a fantasy, but this is my car. This is real life. This is me driving on the road. And this is me being honest. And I'm yawning, right? Like, the pros don't yawn. But I'm yawning, right? Like I said, I've been up since 5 a.m., 5:30. I muscled around, did my push-ups. I didn't do sit-ups today, but so yeah, here's the point. What's the nugget? It's called conversations, people building content. I don't want to be on here. I don't. I'd rather be at home playing Call of Duty. But there's a whole group of people, and there's over 8 billion people in the world. So 10% of that, and need to hear this. So 8 million people. And that might be wrong. So all you uber smart people post in the comments what the actual number is. 10% of 8 billion. But I mean, it's up there. So, but yeah, this was a real talk episode with Mr. Dreams to Reality, Coach Ford. And my dreams are coming to reality. Let's be honest. I wrote a book. The book is called Just Do Your Job. I have merch with it. I have some another shirt that I'm getting ready to drop called to Serve, that we're actually going to help donate a portion of the profits and the sales to local school. And to be honest with you, the whole point of having a business is to help causes that I want to help, and I have a couple causes there dear to my heart, and I can't do that on zero. Like, you ever try going anywhere from 0 to 0, even if it's your legs, if you don't have energy to do it or things built into you to do it, you're not going to do it. So, yeah, this was a Daily V. Oh my gosh, I always do that. Daily V is Gary's thing. Oh my gosh. So, this has been Real Talk, Daily Vlog, whatever you want it to be, with Coach Ford, Mr. Dreams to Reality, Real Talk show. This is Real Talk. This isn't a fake show with a teleprompter. I'm literally in the car. My phone is mounted, so there's no way. And I'm not editing and clipping this either, so this is going to be the raw footage. I don't even care like that. I think in the beginning stages, we worry about all of the nuances of what we're doing and not worried about the small stages. But hey, I'm getting back to my town. So entrepreneurs, I guess I'm gonna title this how to be patient, or how to, I don't know, how to push through. Yeah, how to push through. It's tough days, right? So if I'm going to title it how to push through, there's days where you just don't feel like doing it, and on those days you have to do it, right? Like I said, I could be playing Call of Duty, but I'm on my way after 4 games, getting ready to go home and upload this content.